Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be continuing with my study on how to handle exact questions. And as I said before, the exact or the extract question is normally tested in paper 2 at the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education level. And last time on this channel, we did ways on how to identify the various character traits of characters. And we were able to follow up on the use of contextual clues. Today, I want us to build on our previous discussion. And I want us to look at a practical way on how to identify thematic concerns, themes, and issues in relation to the already identified character traits. How can someone use character traits to identify themes? And there is some interconnectedness between the themes, the character traits, as well as the aspects of style in each and every work of literature. Before we delve into our lesson for today, viewers, I would like those who are new here to hit onto that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that anytime we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Again, if you are also interested in the written scripts of what I do here, you can also check onto my blog, that is omoloezra.blogspot.com. Again, let me continue thanking my supporters for the support you've given to this channel. Without you, this channel wouldn't be where it is. Now, we came to find out that we can use a contextual clue of maybe a certain verb to identify a character trait. Our sample excerpt is still from page 145 to 146, and that is chapter 11 of the text Blossoms of the Savannah. And the first sentence in that excerpt reads, "Their parents looked tired and aloof when they arrived home. Their father immediately removed his shoes and slumped into a chair and stared at the ceiling unblinkingly." Then it comes to the end where in page 146, "But their mother's mood was completely different. Her previous night's taciturnity had turned into loquacity." So that is the sample excerpt that we will use for the purposes of illustrating what we're talking about. So in the second paragraph of that excerpt, and if you are with your text, then you can follow me. I really recommend that you should have your text with you to help you follow up this discussion. "And they were truly troubled. Olekaelo's mission to Olesupeo had backfired. He had hoped, being his friend and mentor, to persuade him to take over all those stocks in his godowns that he had secured on the strength of those contracts that Oloisudori had enabled him sign with the parastatals. Had he accepted the arrangement and paid off all his liabilities to the banks, Olekaelo would have sneered at Oloisudori and told him to keep his hands off his daughter Ereshan. But Olesupeo had declined the offer, effectively throwing him back to the hyena." I want us to pick some character traits from this paragraph. I want us to look at some contextual clues that lead us to various character traits. And one is that it comes out so clearly that Olekaelo cannot sneer at this point at Oloisudori and tell him to keep off his daughters because of the liabilities that he has secured, or the contracts that he has secured, or the godowns he has secured on the strength of Oloisudori's contract, the contracts that Oloisudori has enabled him to secure. And what this brings out is that Olekaelo then comes out as someone who is materialistic and greedy. He cannot really speak against Oloisudori's intended marriage to his daughter because he feels that he is going to lose his wealth that he has secured on the strength of the contracts that Oloisudori helped him secure. That brings him out as materialistic and greedy. He seems to be trading with his daughter. So following up on that character trait, when asked to discuss the issue, discuss the theme, discuss the thematic concern that has been raised, a candidate will simply go on to say that there is the theme of materialism, or there is the theme of greed. So the Olekaelo's character trait of materialistic leads us to now say that the theme there is materialism, or his trait of being greedy then leads us to say that there is a thematic concern of greed. Just on that very paragraph, there is another character trait that we can infer. That is the last sentence. But Ole Supeo had declined the offer, effectively throwing him back to the hyena. So there is a use of a metaphor, Oloisudori being Olekaelo being thrown back to the hyena. And in the context, it then appears that Oloisudori is the hyena in this case. There is some kind of resignation on the part of Olekaelo. And this metaphor brings about his being disparate, being anxious. So the character traits that come out is that he is, number one, disparate, he is anxious, and at the same time, he is kind of pessimistic. So these character traits can also lead us to come up with their corresponding themes. So we look at the character trait and we come up with the themes. Number one, if we go for Olekaelo being disparate, then we will say there is a thematic concern of desperation. If we go for Olekaelo being anxious, we will say that there is the character trait of being of anxiety. If we go for the character trait of Olekaelo being pessimistic at this point in time, then the thematic concern of pessimism also comes about. We can go on, and let us also look at the statement that Mama Milanois in Kainito get to tell him. So Mama Milanois, that is this, the third paragraph, Mama Milanois' mission did not fare any better. When she sought advice from in Kainito regarding Oloisudori, they candidly responded that she and her husband were behaving like the proverbial greedy hyena that straddled two parallel paths with the ridiculous intention of reaching two destinations simultaneously, so as not to miss the meals in either places. So in addressing Mama Milanoi, the Inkainito get to use a simile and compares them to a proverbial greedy hyena that tries to straddle two paths. And that one correctly pictures Mamilenoi and Olekaelo, who are trying to play along with two options of following modernity, the aspects of modernity in some instances, and at the same time fusing them with some sort of tradition. And this brings them out as people who are honest. They are honest in the sense that they are really going to speak their mind, and they are really going to tell Mama Milanoi what they feel of she and Olekaelo without mincing their words. When we pick on them being honest, then the thematic concern that will come from that is that there is honesty. They can also come out as bold or courageous in speaking their mind and telling Mama Milanoi and Olekaelo what they think of them. Then we can have the thematic concern of boldness, or that of courage, or that of bravery. So I have in this video tried to show us the ways in which, upon identifying character traits, we have no choice but to now score or to correctly identify the thematic concerns, because there is that kind of relationship between the character trait and the thematic concern. It is the character trait that can lead us to a corresponding thematic concerns. Other examples that you may also find in other areas is that whenever a character comes out as determined, then we will say there is the theme of determination. Whenever a character is optimistic, then the corresponding theme will be that of optimism. The character is courageous, the theme of courage. A character is a hypocrite, then the theme that thereby corresponds is hypocrisy. A character is deceitful, then the theme that corresponds will be the theme of a deceit, and it can go on and on. Remember, character traits are normally described using adjectives, while thematic concerns, themes, and issues are described using nouns. Lastly, from this same excerpt, there is another way that you can also identify correctly thematic concerns, and you can look at the various contextual clues. A subject that has been mentioned will lead you to correctly identify a given theme. Let us, for instance, look at what Mama Milanoi's incognito say in the third paragraph, and that is towards the last sentence. They say that it is said they accused them, read Mama Milanoi and Olekaelo, of being aloof and selective on the aspects of Nasela culture they chose to interact with. So in that statement, there is a reference to culture. So you will identify culture as a thematic concern. And the illustration, you may just pick up that sentence where it is mentioned that Mama Milanoi and Olekaelo were selective on the various aspects of Nasela culture that they found convenient. Then lastly, when the incognito also tells Mama Milanoi to bring to them their daughters, they say that they had challenged her, read Mama Milanoi, to persuade Olekaelo to let the girls stay with them for a period of time and let them bond with the other children. If they did that, they told her they would see the difference. The senior-most wife of Simran, Yeyo Botor, said Mama Milanoi might be surprised to find the girls asking to be circumcised without any coercion. So the mention of the circumcision brings to the fore the thematic concern of FGM, female genital mutilation, or girl circumcision. So you explain it using this sentence that Yeyobotaur tells Mama Milanoi that if she brings her girls to them at Uncle Semiren's homestead, then she would be surprised that it would be the girls who will be demanding to get circumcised. Viewers, thank you very much for listening, for staying with me here. The next time, I will talk about how to correctly identify aspects of style in an excerpt. Thank you.